Hey guys, PP here. Trust me, we'll get to the title of this video by the end of it. But first, a quick content warning. This video discusses Jordan Bingus Peterson at length. If you suffer from moral relativism or social Marxism, you may be offended and might consider clicking off this video. So anyways, I was planning on talking about Jordan's recent testimony in front of Congress today. However, the lame ducks on the panel flapped their right wing and spun in circles the whole time. But we were blessed with a gift when Jordan was called out for his incoherent rambling.
While being enticed to do so by fear,
Mr. Chairman, could the witness be asked to summarize, please?
Do I have my 5 minutes, or do I not?
Yeah.
You've gone over 5
Oh,
minutes.
I'm sorry. I can certainly.
If the witness could summarize, we're always a little lenient with the time. If you could
I'll
summarize in a
take
few
10 more
seconds.
seconds.
Sure.
So at least we didn't leave empty-handed. But in my research on Jordan's recent rhetoric, I found the most immaculately formed tweet of Jordan Peterson's that I'd like to dissect. And it's not really a tweet, it's a post regarding Jordan's upcoming book, We Who Wrestle with God. Now, I'm not trying to promote Stinky Petey's book here, but I am excited for it. Jordan's rhetoric on God and faith has always enraptured my interest. He certainly toes the line when it comes to speaking about God and faith in right-wing spaces, but his beliefs are so ethereal, I'm not sure they're even there. From his mutterings, I've been able to glean that he thinks the Bible is important because it provides a series of archetypes that have informed Western culture for 2,000 years. But that doesn't speak to his belief in God or the magic of the book itself. As far as I can tell, he loves tying his own brain-dead philosophy to these ancient archetypes because he is under the delusion that they somehow grant him legitimacy and a sheen of wisdom. But leveraging religion in this way is less about religious belief and more about starting a cult, which is exactly what he's done. I suppose that's why he's wrestling with God as opposed to leaving cookies out at night for him. No wait, that's Santa Claus. Jordan only wrestles with God because it's a great way to monetize religion to his hyper-religious cult following of young and lost souls. Or maybe it is Santa Claus, I don't know. Anyways, let's dive into the insanity of this excerpt line by line. And since I can't do a convincing Kermit voice, you'll have to settle for my normal voice. So Peterson begins by writing, "When we bargain with the future, we produce variants of our future selves, alternative visions of who we could be, and project the real-world outcome." Okay, fair enough. Codswallop, but we're starting with a simple analogy about how our choices create fractures in the multiverse. So every time we make a choice, there's a version of us that made a different choice. This is called the probability universe theory and has been featured in the plot of every sci-fi series for the past decade. He continues, "When we sacrifice, we are bargaining with the future." I'm sorry, what? When we sacrifice what exactly? This statement is so vague and nonspecific. So let's see if he clarifies it. "We will give up this set of possible selves / possible futures now to propitiate God." That means to please God. "And ensure success for ourselves and those we value as we move forward." So this is where Jordan lost me in his drivel. We will give up this set of possible selves / possible futures. I'm sorry, which set of selves? We're so many layers of convoluted contrivances deep, I don't even know what he's referring to. It's been 2 sentences and we're already at the end of the episode debate with Heistatron. But I don't worship at the altar of Peterson, so I understand that maybe I'm not exactly the target audience. So, what are we sacrificing, and how does this please God? I'm glad you ask, because Jordan never really clarifies. And before you get too lost, dear viewer, we're still talking about the mundane, everyday occurrence of making decisions. The thesis so far is that every step Jordan takes, every choice Jordan makes, God is watching him. So he goes on to say, "We offer up something valuable. Concretely valuable, self-evidently valuable, here and now." I must admit, I am a sucker for repetition as a rhetorical device. But still, what are we offering? I can only imagine the philosophical turmoil that rages through Jordan's body every morning as he has to decide. Does he wear the suit that makes him look like Two-Face or the Penguin? We're not even halfway done, and my brain is working harder than it ever did in Philosophy 101. But we must press forward. Surely he can conclude this excerpt by eloquently laying out the rational and logical truth for all to hear. So, we offer up something valuable, taking the chance that if we do so, the future will make itself manifest in a more positive manner. That is quite the risk. Is it though? Is it quite the risk to make good decisions, Jordan? Maybe if your entire platform is making poor decisions, Continuing, that is quite the risk given the self-evident current value of the thing to be sacrificed. Why does he communicate like this? Every single word has to be ritualistically beaten to death around the bush before we toss its body into the abyss of pseudo-intellectualism. I digress. Apparently, the risk we take when making decisions is not self-evident enough, because I still have no idea what exactly is being sacrificed. We're just making decisions. What are we giving up? The future? The future of a bad decision? I swear to God, it's like Jordan took a fat rip off the bong, listened to the first 6 words of Hamlet's soliloquy, and had the brain blast of brain blasts before writing this down. At this point, I'm actually quite worried he did have a brain blast, and by that, I mean he had an ischemic stroke. Please, somebody check on Jordan. We aren't even 3 paragraphs in. I can't imagine what the rest of this book is like. Okay, let's wrap this up before I have a stroke of my own. To save your sanity, I'll give you guys the abridged version. Jordan then goes on to say that this risk carries a mystery, which is, who are we bargaining with? Of course, he's already laid it out in the opening sentence. We are bargaining with the future and our future self, as he immediately points out in the following sentence, which kind of undercuts the beautiful gown of rhetoric he dressed it up in. But this paragraph also reveals the most profound thought of the bunch, the climactic quote of the evening, the realization that sent Jordan over the edge, so much so that he just had to share this sage tidbit of wisdom with everybody on Twitter. The revelation of all revelations. Are you ready for it? The crux of this entire excerpt, and I imagine the whole book, is that we are bargaining with potential itself. Yep, that's it. Amazing, right? So profound. When we make decisions, we are bargaining with potential itself. What does that mean? Potential. What does it mean to bargain with potential? There is no bargaining with potential. There's just potential. This is the pseudo-philosophical swill that Jordan's audience suckles on every single day. He has recognized the link between the present and the future, and tries to discern some arcane wisdom from this where there isn't any. He then goes on to say that bargaining, or rather decision-making, is predicated on faith because of our ultimate, unbounded, and irreducible ignorance. Ignorance of what? Ignorance of potential? Of God? Of self? Of what the heck he's even talking about? This entire excerpt could be summarized quite simply as the spirit of potential. When we make decisions, we hope we make the right choice. Which is not a profound thought. He literally just described the experience of making a decision. Something everybody does all day, every day. And it isn't solely predicated on faith as Jordan would lead us to believe. I don't wash my hands or go to the gym because I want to propitiate the Sky Father. I do those things because I want to be healthy. These are informed decisions based on experience and education. It absolutely blows my mind that this supposedly highly renowned philosopher is coming out the gate and saying, "Hey, I just bumble through life on blind faith and sheer luck. I am utterly ignorant." It's like he just found out about the butterfly effect or watched season 6 of the CW Flash. The simple truth is, the decisions of daily life don't carry that much consequence. Perhaps somebody has one of those come to Jesus moments once in their life, and maybe that's solely what Jordan's referring to, but even then, it isn't quite so extreme as he makes it to be. I'd suggest to Peterson, and any of his Petersonians, to read a lovely and quaint poem called The Road Not Taken. It's the one that started off 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood. I'm sure you know it. And it's all about the inconsequentiality of our choices. At the end of the day, no decision is going to singularly affect our lives to such a profound extent. The dramatization of everyday choice here is unreal. Jordan sounds like those finance bros who views every choice through the lens of opportunity cost, because it's the only thing they remember from high school economics. Picture this. Jordan wakes up in the morning. He has to pee real bad. What's the opportunity cost of going to the bathroom versus not? If he doesn't go pee, he can go get more work done and make more money, but he'll soil his shorts. But if he does go pee, then he's sacrificing time spent working. And that's money, dude. Except it isn't so simple for Jordan. He also has to consider which is the greater sacrifice and which choice will best propitiate his idea of a god. It's a moral quandary that the woke moralists of today could never resolve, but Jordan can. Not because Jordan knows what to do. Oh no. Jordan, in his own words, suffers from irreducible ignorance. But Jordan knows what to do because Jordan has faith. And we both know what choice Jordan is going to make. He has to make a noble sacrifice in the form of his trousers. Okay, but seriously, we don't have much context for this excerpt. But let's not be willfully ignorant for the sake of goading Jordan. He has spoken extensively about this in old lectures and Joe Rogan appearances. Here's the basic premise. Imagine you're a caveman. You find an acorn on the ground. You can eat the acorn now, or you can put it in your cave and eat the acorn come winter when you're really hungry. Jordan then, through whatever chicken noodle soup is marinating his brain, somehow links this idea of present deprivation for future fulfillment to the genesis of religion. He acts as if planning for the future is somehow cheating nature, that for early humans to beat nature, it must be through the supernatural, which leads to a belief in God. Yeah, let me be clear. Squirrels make the same decision, to bust a nut now or later. Jordan thinks he's somehow figured out how ancient humans broke nature, without realizing that it's just part of nature. So let's be charitable and apply Jordan's logic to the modern day. Imagine being caught between a rock and a hard place. Maybe you're a newly minted internet celebrity, a social pariah, a married man with children, a discredited professional, a crippling benzo addict who only eats raw meat. You've got money coming in out the wazoo as long as you just keep punching down. Life can be hard, and you might have to make sacrifices. Say if you're a doctor, you provide a service to your community, but you don't have enough time for your family, friends, or even yourself. That is an unenviable position to be in, but sacrifice is part of life. And at the end of the day, we all have to make decisions that we can live with. And there is nothing profound in Jordan's money-grubbing attempt to relate it to God, or faith, or nature, or whatever, because no matter how many rat-brained, convoluted sentences he soaks his thesis in before spitballing you with it from the back of the class, Jordan Peterson has, and always will, choose to pee his pants. If you take anything away from this video, let it be that. Up yours, woke moralist. I'll catch you guys later.